Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? What is going on? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live. Just a moment, I'm going to get a chart on the screen. I don't know why that wasn't queued up. There we go. That's better. Great to see you guys. It is Sunday night, January 9th of 2022. Thanks for joining me this evening. If you haven't already, if I could just ask you to hit that like button. It's the number one thing you can do to help this channel out, to help us ascend and reach more people. Also, if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You're watching Steele Live. I am, of course, Steele. It's great to have you with us. And we've got an awesome, exciting, eccentric little community here. And I personally want you to be a part of it. So be sure to hit subscribe, hit all on that notification bell, and ascend with us to the moon, to Mars, and beyond. Who do we got active in the chat tonight? We've got 7-1. We've got Keith. Good to see you, Keith. We've got Scott Herforth, Alan Schneider, Zombie, Doge, Army. Who else? Who else here? Mr. Lynn. Good to see you, Mr. Lynn. And Sliding Edge, of course. Marie Potter, good to see you. Josh Randell. Disavows, good to see you back in the mix, Josh. Donna Tabuki. We love the Tabuki family. Welcome, Donna. Captain Jack, good to see you back in the mix. And the list goes on, Lone Wolf, good to see you. Great. We got a great show lined up for you tonight. Definitely interesting news to cover tonight, and we are going to get down to it all, boppers. If you feel compelled to super chat anywhere throughout the duration of this broadcast, that's obviously hugely appreciated for all the time and efforts put in. Also, you can get two free stocks from WEBULL. I have a partnership with WEBULL now. If you just click in the link pinned at the top of the chat there, all you have to do is open up a WEBULL account if you haven't already, and you can deposit just as little as 1 penny, literally 1 penny, and you will qualify to get 2 free stocks. Fast tracked right to you, and more of you guys have been taking advantage of it, and I love it. I love to see it. Without any further ado, let's get down to it. Top of the night, courtesy of Benzinga. Dogecoin co-founder Billy Markus hits back at Mozilla's decision to halt crypto donations, calls internet outrage hypocritical and stupid. This definitely sounds like something Billy Markus would say. Even as cryptocurrencies are slowly gaining mainstream adoption, the path forward isn't smooth for many digital currencies. Dogecoin co-founder Billy Markus came down hard on Mozilla for backtracking on its decision to accept donations in cryptocurrencies. Markus attacked Mozilla for succumbing to what he called an ignorant reactionary internet mob. For the unversed, the Mozilla Foundation, a nonprofit organization behind the Firefox browser, on Thursday announced through Twitter it would pause the ability to donate via cryptocurrencies even as it reviews if and how its current policy on crypto donations fits in with its climate goals. Okay. The foundation faced a backlash from Twitter when it announced an earlier decision to accept donations in digital currencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin. Those opposed to the move, primarily on environmental grounds, took to Twitter to express discontent over Mozilla's decision and threatened to cancel reoccurring donations to the foundation. In response, Mozilla's announcement, Markus went on to suggest the environmental cost associated with paper dollars and the entire banking infrastructure is far worse. Accepting cryptocurrency doesn't mean we support every aspect about cryptocurrency, just like accepting American dollars doesn't mean we are okay with all the atrocities America has committed, Markus tweeted. To be clear, we should care about the environment. Just, recognize that we are living in the first world country and whining on Twitter. We are pretty terrible for the planet, so stop trying to act like everything is the worst thing ever and we are all saints. Direct quote tweet from Billy Markus, aka Shibatoshi Nakamoto. He also said, internet outrage is hypocritical and stupid every time. I'm laughing because I know Billy, and this is so Billy. And I gotta give a round of applause for my friend Billy Markus there. I think he handled it pretty well. I think he took the hammer and he hit it right on the head, guys. I really couldn't express it any better myself. And how ridiculous for Mozilla to turn down donations just because they're in cryptocurrency, pretty much at the behest of a bunch of virtue signaling, Twitter outrage commenters, feigning outrage over something they know very little or nothing about in the first place. And if we're going to play that kind of game, that kind of virtue signaling game, why don't you look down at where your smartphone was made from, and chances are it was on the backs of slave labor wages, and many times children on those production lines, etc., etc. So if you're going to open that Pandora's box, I mean, we can go there, but I think it gets to the point of absurdity. I also think that Billy is right on when he compared it to the traditional banking system, the traditional fiat system, and all the energy that's expended, right? All the energy that's expended around the current system. I've talked about this many times. Furthermore, the environmental concerns about crypto mining is greatly exaggerated, particularly when we look at how quickly all the mining technology is trending towards much more energy efficient ways. And this is happening at a very, very rapid pace. In fact, I cited a source on here a couple months ago. I wish the source is eluding me right now, but it went on to say that nearly 90% of all Bitcoin mining would be much more energy efficient and greener within the next just 2 years here. So the environmental impact of cryptocurrency, I believe, is greatly exaggerated, particularly when we look at how much energy the traditional systems we have in place costs. Donna Tabuki starting things off. I love it. Starting things off with a $10 Make You Holler super chat. Starting it off, Donna, we love it. We love Donna. We love the Tabukis here on Steve and Steele Live. Thank you for getting things jump started. Sliding Edge for $2 Make You Holler. I got you covered. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. I love it. Thank you, Sliding Edge. Good to see you. Mama Crypto in the chat. Thanks for holding it down, Mama. Zombie Doge Army. $5 super chat. Let's go. Let's effing go. Yes, indeed. Zombie Doge Army. Great to have you in the mix. That's my 80s MC voice. In the mix. Sliding Edge again, coming with a $2 Make You Holler. You are here, he says. You are here. Anyway, well handled by Billy Marcus, calling that stuff out. I thought that was the most amusing story, particularly when Billy's rants make it onto the crypto news circuits and things like that. It's always amusing, but that will happen when you are embarking on nearly 1 million followers and shooting it back and forth with Elon nearly on a daily basis. I'm going to have a swig of this cold-pressed coconut water as we go into the next story. This is a really fascinating story, guys. Check this out. This Tesla owner says he mines up to... Okay, this dovetails perfectly out of the last story we just covered, and you'll see why. This Tesla owner says he mines up to $800 a month in cryptocurrency with his car. Tesla owners spoke to CNBC on how they've used the internal computer and battery powered of that car to mine cryptocurrencies. SF-based Siraj Raval mines Ethereum by hooking up graphic processing units directly to the Tesla car battery. And this is becoming more and more of a trend, optimizing your Tesla vehicles and EV vehicles to mine cryptocurrency. I think it's awesome. He's run free Bitcoin mining software on his Apple Mac M1 and powered the computer by plugging an inverter into a 12-volt power socket located in the center console of his car. That is wild. Wow, that is wild. So he's also hooked up interconnected graphics processing units, GPUs, to the frunk of his Tesla, running these machines off of the car's internal battery, though it risks voiding his car warranty. Ravel says it's worth it. Well, I think it's going to pay for itself, frankly. If you're, what did he say? He's about $800 a month. Okay, maybe not, but it's still not too shabby when you're already driving around and you're not really adding any more miles than you normally would. Not too shabby at all. I mean, that adds up 800 times 12 annual. Not a bad passive income. Not a bad passive income. I mean, that covers your insurance and mechanic bills right there. When the price of Ether peaked in 2021, he claims he was netting as much as around $800 a month. The main component of the price is of the electricity. If it's cheaper doing it through an electric vehicle, then so be it. So this is wild, and this is a trend that seems to be breaking out primarily through the West Coast right now, where people are optimizing their Teslas to do crypto mining. So I just thought that was a cool, fun little story. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. I caught up on Super Chats. Zombie Doge Army coming in large and in charge with 10 smackaroos. I love it. Zombie Doge Army, one of the earliest supporters of this channel. Great to see you in the mix. Thank you for your support, sir. As always, thank you for helping to keep the lights on over here at Steele HQ. This coming up courtesy of CoinDesk. Bitcoin falls toward 40K, racks up longest losing streak since 2018. Now keep in mind, this story came out yesterday afternoon. Cryptocurrency analysts had warned of the possibility of a steeper sell-off, and now traders are wondering when and where the market shakeout might end. Bitcoin fell for a 7th straight day, the longest losing streak since 2018, slipping toward the key psychological threshold of $40,000 as of press time. Bitcoin was changing hands around 40,800, down 2.3% over the last 24 hours. Well, look, let's just cut to it, guys, because since this came out yesterday afternoon, Bitcoin is now up over that 42,000 threshold. Now, yesterday was a pivotal, really last night, frankly, was a pivotal fork in the road from all the technical analysis that I have been reviewing over Bitcoin. Yes, it seemed like last night it was either going to go ascend towards 42, 43,000 or drop down to 39, 38,000. I still think it's possible, folks. So I still think it's possible over this next week for Bitcoin to take a stumble as low as 38,000, 39,000. That's the bad news. The good news, I think the probability of things getting incredibly bullish after reaching that bottom of 38, 39 is very highly probable. Now, people are talking about Bitcoin dropping below 30,000. I think this is very, very improbable. Very improbable, folks. Mama Crypto coming in with a $5 super chat. Mwah! Right back at you, Mama Crypto. Appreciate you. Appreciate the super chat, and thank you for supporting the show. Zombie Doge Army coming in again with $2, spreading good vibes, spreading that big Doge energy in the chat. I love it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Zombie Doge says, feeling generous tonight. I'm all about it. And so are my bills. So thank you, Zombie. Really appreciate you guys. Good to see you guys. You know, I haven't been on, I think, the last 2 days. And even just taking 2 nights off in a row, it feels like I haven't been live in a week, honestly. But what I have been doing, I've been focusing more on getting my day business back on track where it needs to be. So that's what I've been doing. Just getting all that sorted, organized, and back on track. And now we're getting there. So what I'm saying is, what happened today with Bitcoin is incredibly good news. So we snapped that 6-day losing streak, and now we are ascending. And let's check the markets right now, shall we? Let's just take a rounder and see where things are sitting today compared to yesterday. Folks. So Bitcoin up about 0.5% since yesterday, up about 0.5% over the last hour, and still down 10% over the last week. Dogecoin hanging out just above 15 cents, down about 11% over the week, down about 0.5% over the last day, and up about 0.5% over the last hour. I'm going to continue to keep a close eye on the Doge and see if it's going to get some legs. Maybe it'll be the Steele effect while we're on the air here. Certainly wouldn't be the first time. It'd be one of many times, frankly. Ethereum barely struggling just to make it to 3,200 right now. Wow. Up 1%. That's up 1% for the day. Down 16% for the week. 60% for the week. No doubt about it, guys. No way to sugarcoat this. This is gnarly. This crypto market is gnarly. Gnarly right now, but that's okay because we are going to take it all in stride. We're going to take it all in glide, folks, because I believe this is only temporary. My only regret personally is that I don't have enough investment capital on hand to buy up these dips personally, and I'm not an advisor, not telling you what to do, disclaimer, blah, blah, blah. I think this is an optimal accumulation window, just an optimal accumulation window. Trucking All Day celebrating 8 months of membership. Time flies when you're having fun, baby. Time flies when you're having fun. Will Axie still be play to earn king? SLP burn. Whew. Good question, Trucking All Day. Look, I think that Axie is still going to be a huge major breakout player throughout most of 2022, even if you're getting into Axie right now. In fact, particularly now that I think about it, if you get into Axie right now on one of your on your first buy, I think that could have a pretty high probability of having very favorable, significant margins, considering the already high market cap of Axie, respectively, within that realm, within that category of crypto. So those are my thoughts on that. Again, if I had more investment capital, I probably would be putting something on Axie right now. I would. I'd be putting something on Axie. I'd be buying up Ethereum. I'd be buying up Bit. Of course, there's always the Doge. There's always the Doge, baby. But I'd be buying on more Lunaterra, more AVAX. Just personally, that's what I'd be doing right now. Do with that what you will. Mama Crypto says, I don't have Instagram right now. I'm on Twitter and Getter. I'm on Getter too. Admittedly, I kind of just use it as a bookmark right now. I don't know, maybe I'll pick things up more actively over there, but I do. You can find Steven Steele on Getter. Yep. Trucking All Day is awesome. Trucking All Day is such a huge asset, I believe, to this community and this channel. Just a awesome dude. In fact, Trucking All Day, now that I think about it, I think Trucking All Day knows me from when I very first began broadcasting audio only on a different channel, not before I started my own content creation, now that I think about it. So Trucking All Day is one of the first supporters that I recall from the very first moment I started gracing any internet airways. Now, let's get to the next story. This one comes courtesy of Forbes. Looking ugly. Crypto prices tumble again after 300 billion sell-off. How low can Bitcoin go? It reminds me of that Ludacris song from a few years ago. How low can you go? How low can you go? How low can you go? That's all I can think of right now. Again, folks, from everything I've been looking at from a TA perspective, I do think that it's probable within this week that Bitcoin could get as low as 38,000. Again, that's the bad news. The good news is I don't see it getting any lower than that, and I think the rebound that would springboard off of that floor has a pretty good chance of being rather significant. Now, the Fed has been also spreading a lot of FUD on the crypto market, not to mention the stock market absolutely struggling right now. So many times the overall trajectory of the stock market, the crypto market will correspond with, and also considering that we are still in a Bitcoin dominant world in terms of cryptocurrency. It's just how it is, folks, just how it is. Now, do I think Bitcoin is done for? I do not. There's too much institutional power, institutional investment across the board. And still the volume among particularly both Dogecoin and Bitcoin lately has been massive. Dogecoin whales really just been going to town over the last few days and just seeing tremendous volume despite all of the bearish trends going on in the market lately, which I think is a good sign. All that activity is a really, really strong sign. Now, this next story comes courtesy of Cointelegraph, folks. Look at these super chats coming in. I love it. Trucking All Day, I think I got to your $10 super chat before, but if I didn't, let me cover it again. Trucking All Day coming in with a $10 make you holler super sticker with the KO. of the hippo. I love it. I love it. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Donna Tabuki coming in with a $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Finishing up your black booties. Super comfy. I think the casual observer won't be sure how to take that, Donna, but Donna is knitting me a pair of black booties just for clarification. And thank you, Donna. I'm looking forward to them. Appreciate that. Josh Rondell disavows coming in with a $5 super chat. Get her sounds like get her. I like it. I think of like that redneck comedian, Get Her Done. That's what I think of when I see Get Her. But yeah, Get Her. It kind of reminds me of when I was a kid. The cartoon Inspector Gadget used to be on, and we thought it was so funny as little boys, and instead of saying Inspector Gadget, we'd say Inspect Her Gadget, and giggle, whatever. Zombie Doge Army coming in with a $3 rock to the lock. I love it. Again, let me do a quick tutorial. If you don't know how to rock lock, I'm going to show you right now. When you see someone with the rock, you meet them with the locks. This is the lock, this is the rock. They come together, and you gotta rock lock, brothers and sisters. You gotta rock lock. I love it. Next story, courtesy of Cointelegraph. Check this out. Bored Ape Yacht Club is a huge mainstream hit, but is Wall Street ready for NFTs? Experts share how the Bored Ape Yacht Club's success has changed NFTs landscape for good. And basically it goes on to say what is cementing NFTs to be a permanent landscape within the financial systems is all the celebrities that have aped into Bored Ape Yacht Club. You see what I did there? And just obviously the gargantuan amounts of money that are trading hands at it. And the tremendous floor price of Bored Ape Yacht Club, which right now is 68 ETH. How many of us can afford 68 ETH on anything, let alone on an ape JPEG? It's just unreal. And of course, there's the metaverse factor. Will Wall Street ape into NFTs? To a certain degree, it's happening already. Will it continue to evolve into taking up a bigger space on the Wall Street? That remains to be seen. I'm not quite sure. I don't think that's necessarily a foregone conclusion. Anyway, I don't really have anything more to add about that story. So let's get to the next one. Is there a Bitcoin crash ahead? Experts warn of higher inflation could whip Bitcoin price to 30K. The warning appears as the U.S. Federal Reserve's intention to tighten its asset purchasing program rapidly, following by three rate hikes in 2022. Market expects the widely followed consumer price index to rise 7% through the year through December of a 0.5 month over month. This surge highlights why the U.S. Federal Reserve officials have been rooting for faster normalization in their monetary policy anticipated earlier. Bitcoin is now a micro asset that trades as a proxy for liquidity conditions. As liquidity diminishes, macro players now in the fray sell Bitcoin, and all other crypto follows. The Fed Reserve, I have had it up to here with the Fed lately, particularly recently. And the gall, the nerve of many of our elected officials in Washington to just be disparaging Bitcoin, disparaging the crypto market. And you know why they're disparaging it? It has nothing to do with ethics, folks. It has nothing to do with consumer protections. It has nothing to do with looking out for you. It has everything to do with where their pockets are lined. And when you look at where their pockets are lined, it's within the competitive industries of cryptocurrency. It's within the industries that are competitive to cryptocurrency, wherein rather cryptocurrency is posing a threat. And I believe this applies to whether it's the chair of the Federal Reserve or a U.S. senators or U.S. Congress people. It's pretty clear to me. Look who's lining the pockets. Look who's making the most donations. Particularly Janet Yellen. Here, Janet Yellen, that's a quintessential example. She made over $8 million off of Wall Street lobbyists. She gave a 40-minute speech to Citadel for $800,000 just a mere few months before she took and was appointed to the office. that she hails from now. Why do you suppose somebody gets paid nearly $1 million for a 35, 40-minute speech? Why do you suppose they do that? Because they give speeches that are worth that much per freaking minute? No. It's because they know where they're going, where they're likely, the position that they're likely going to hold in the near future, and they understand that this is the big payout for them to legislate and carry that office in a fashion that is most advantageous to them. To them. And cryptocurrency, because of its decentralization by nature overall, doesn't have that same advantage. And it's making everyday people gains, and they don't like that. They don't like that. Anyway, I think I'm good on that tangent. But to backtrack a little bit on that Cointelegraph article, is a Bitcoin crash nigh? It's possible, folks. It's possible. I mean, even much more significantly than we are at now. Like, we're talking 30,000 or less. I would say that's a low probability. I wouldn't put it at an ultra low probability, but I would put it at around 10 or 15%. If I had to put a percentage on it. Again, everything I'm looking at, 38, 39 is the floor. And we might have already seen the floor, folks. Right now, Bitcoin is trading comfortably above 42,000. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. All right, let's go to the next one, guys. Let's go to the next one. This is a doozy. This story is a doozy. Pudgy Penguins. Say that 3 times fast. Pudgy Penguins. Pudgy Penguins. Pudgy Penguins. Pudgy Penguins NFT project Ousts. Founders as mood turns icy. Nice play on words there. CoinDesk. It's cheesy, but I love it. NFT and influencers crash over the fate of Pudgy Penguins, raising governance questions surrounding NFT communities. There's trouble brewing in the huddle. The beloved NFT project Pudgy Penguins voted out its founders on Thursday after they allegedly failed to deliver on stated goals and drained the treasury of funds. And now at least one splinter group is arguing that the entire project should be decentralized, potentially an industry first. This is a huge story in the NFT world, so keep listening up, folks. Launched in July, Pudgy Penguins has become one of the most successful NFT projects, raking in over 45,000 ETH in sales on OpenSea. That works out to about 140 million in today's Ethereum prices. NFT stands for we know what that stands for. A subcategory of cryptocurrencies that represents ownership of unique asset from art to real estate. The collection of 8,888 chubby and flightless Antarctic creatures donning accessories such as baseball caps and fishing rods were available to mint last July for 0.03 ETH and sold out in less than 20 minutes. According to Twitter user Pudgy Penguins owner 9x9x9 ETH, Pudgy Penguins co-owner Cole Theorem promised a game, a token, an educational book on NFTs, and more to the community last September. After a half year, they still have not delivered. They still have yet to even set up the team. They are still in the stage of hiring. One of the owners told CoinDesk via Twitter. One of the owners publicly stated that he spent nearly 600 ETH on the collection and holds 242 Pudgy Penguins and one rare banana penguin purchased for 100 ETH. Pudgy Penguins pseudonymous co-founder Cole Theorem and Twitter user Tubby Fat didn't immediately respond for a request to comment via Twitter message. Yeah, it really comes as no surprise to me. I don't know if any of you sat through a Twitter Spaces about a month ago where there was kind of a dust up among the ranks with like one of the main Twitter mods. Sorry, one of the main Pudgy Penguins Discord mods, and he was let go and he was disgruntled. And I thought that whole dust up was a little bit of a nothing burger, But this is extremely significant. So maybe that was just the beginning crack, right? And that main Discord mod felt underappreciated, blah, blah, blah. Actually, there was a lot of kind of grandstanding. I didn't feel strongly about it one way or another. But I will say this. I heard both of these guys, that the founders of Pudgy Penguins, kind of offer a rebuttal in a Twitter space of their own that had about a couple thousand people in them, and I didn't think they handled it well at all. But particularly this Cole individual, he didn't sound mature enough to handle anything even close to this. He sounded to me like an incompetent kid, just struggling to even handle the most basic levels of adversity of a project this mammoth, which to me I found frankly disturbing when you consider that Pudgy Penguins has been one of the most successful NFT projects in the marketplace. So when I heard the founders holding a space as so wildly unprofessional as it was, I was like, whoa, okay. I thought that was much more revealing than the actual issue that started with. So now that I see this story boomerang back into the limelight, where now they've been ousted. Wednesday evening, one of the owners published a Twitter thread claiming the Pudgy Penguins founders were looking to abandon the project and offered to sell him its shell for 888 ETH, about 2.8 million, an offer he turned down. Since then, the floor price of Pudgy Penguins shot up from 0.6 ETH on Wednesday evening to 1.7, wow, as of press time. Now the project received buyout offers as high as 750 ETH, and other prominent individuals in the NFT market, including Mintable founder Zach Burks, NFT collector Beanie Max, and Nets Capital Luca Nets. Others in the community are way more wary of a buyout. The Pudgy Penguins founding team receives a small percentage of royalties from each NFT sale. Wrapped Penguins available as a free mint on the NFT platform. MetaDrop for current Penguin holders would sever all ties with the original founding team. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see where this thing ends up, guys. Amid the turmoil, some Pudgy Penguins holders have used the spotlight to spread a popular Pudgy rallying cry. I am my penguin. My penguin is me. So that's an interesting story to see how it shakes out. I spent a little more time than I wanted to on it, but it's fun to say Pudgy Penguins. It's fun to say Pudgy Penguins. Josh Randell says, haven't seen a lot of uploads from Sailor the last few weeks. Yeah, I haven't either. In fact, a lot of crypto content creators have not gone under, like disappeared entirely, but they've kind of stopped making content. A lot of crypto content creators just straight up stop making content for now. I'm not one of those folks. I'm with you guys through thick and thin, through the highs and lows. It's part of the journey. It's part of the journey that we go through together. And for me, this is a long-term journey, both with my cryptocurrency investments and with you guys and with this show. And the great thing about this show is that I prefer over any other crypto-centric channel that you can watch on YouTube is we don't just dabble in crypto. We don't just solely focus on cryptocurrency. We dabble in other topics and subjects as well. And that makes things more interesting. Folks, when we're meeting here 5 to 7 nights a week, we need to take our tangents. We need to take our divergences. And it's a lot more fun that way, isn't it? And it's a lot more fun that way. It's a lot more fun to have kind of a variety topical show that's crypto-centric than the other way around, in my opinion. Donna Tabuki coming in with a $5 make you holler. Appreciate it, Donna. I just realized why you laughed at black booties. I'm crocheting actual slippers that are black for Steven. Thank you for the clarification, Donna Tabuki. Thanks for the clarification. Guys, if you're new here, you're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele. It is Sunday night, January 9th of 2022. We are covering everything from the crypto crash to Pudgy Penguins drama and everything in between. Great to have you with us. Don't forget to subscribe, hit on that notification bell, and collect your free 2 WEBULL stocks pinned at the link at the top of the chat. Now let's get down to the next story. This one comes courtesy of CoinDesk, folks. How to stay sane during a crypto crash. That's some advice I think a lot of people are looking for these days. Crypto long-timers are unfazed by Bitcoin's recent 38% drop. Here's why they're so zen and how to find your own happy place. I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. Name that character. For a truly stunning number of new crypto newcomers, this may be something of new experience. The past 2 years, we've seen incredible growth on platforms like Coinbase, where verified users rose from 37 million in the second quarter of 2022, or 2020 to, 68 million in the second quarter of 2021, then up to 73 million in quarter three. You know, basically the whole sentiment of this article is something, I don't even have to go into that much depth. Basically, the whole sentiment of this article just echoes what we often talk about on this show. And for those of you who keep dialed in to Stephen Steele Live on a regular basis, this comes as no surprise. And that's why you guys aren't largely freaking out about this. Because we talk about the probability of what's happening in the market right now. We talk about it on a regular basis. But the thing is, when you zoom out, particularly as it relates to the highest market cap projects with the highest level of utility, what you see is a common narrative in the long-term trajectory of these projects, and that is one of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Now, sometimes that 1 step back can be a big step back, right? And that's when people start freaking out. That's when a lot of fear sets in the market. And right now we are bordering on what I would describe as extreme fear. And the reason why we're bordering on extreme fear, in my opinion, is because arguably the majority of crypto investors now haven't been involved for more than a year and a half. So the overwhelming majority of crypto investors right now don't have the benefit of long-term memory and experience and seeing the journey over the last 7, 8+ years. So I do think that we are still in a 1 step back phase. I think we are going to see those 2 steps forward in 2022. I'm still relatively bullish about the second half of the first quarter of this year. I still think there's a good probability of huge, big things to come. Mama Crypto coming in with a lemon head heart-shaped eyes super sticker. Mama Crypto, thank you so much. Appreciate the super sticker. We just give a round of applause for Mama Crypto. She's such a loyal follower of the show, loyal viewer of the show, and she is one of our main mods, not only in the show here, but in the Discord as well. And she just does a phenomenal job. Phenomenal woman, Mama Crypto. Thank you so much. Anyway, I don't think I really have anything more that I want to add to that. Let's do like a non-crypto story. Check this one out, folks. This is a real story. Just came out yesterday. Elephant wanders into a hotel lobby through the front door. The large animal apparently entered the Mifu Lodge looking for snacks. Yes, a hotel manager in Zambia. We're going to Zambia, says he was surprised when he looked up from his desk and saw an elephant standing in the front lobby. A whole elephant. Apparently, the large animal had entered the building looking for snacks. And there's pictures of it here. Andy Hogg is the managing director of this hotel in Zambia. He spoke with Southwest News Service about how a bull elephant recently entered the main lobby through the front door briefly explored the room. And he said this isn't the first time the lodge has had to deal with an elephant snooping around the premises. Man. We are careful to make sure we don't leave any fruit or food behind the counter for when the elephants come in. Imagine that as a statement as a hotel manager. Oh yeah, we're careful not to leave any fruit or food behind when the elephants come in. During the time that the wild mango fruit is in season, we get elephants in the courtyard and reception several times a day. It generally happens from late October through mid-December. Apparently, the elephants are popular with visitors at the lodge. Guests love it, as you can imagine, but we were very careful to keep them well back from the elephants and very safe. He didn't stick around for too long. He was on his way from the courtyard where he had been eating wild mangoes before going back into the herd. I've seen this many times over the years, but it doesn't make it any less special, the manager of that lodge said. That's wild. That's wild. Imagine getting your continental breakfast in a hotel in Zambia. You get in, you wake up your first morning, and there's an elephant just waltzing in about 10 feet away from your bagel. Trucking All Day coming in with $69 to make ya holler. I love it. Coming in with that big Doge energy. Appreciate it so much. Thanks for helping to keep the lights on over here at Steele HQ. Trucking All Day. Lighten it up, lighten it up. Everyone give a round of applause for Trucking All Day. Great job, Steven. Doge is my baby. Hodling for $3, and Metacoin is looking good on sale to load the boat. Yeah, Metacoin is definitely on sale right now. Lots of things are on sale. I'm still holding my Meta. It hasn't been performing as well as I'd like it to, but nothing really is at this moment. So yeah, I'm still holding my Meta, and I thank you so much, Truck All Day. Appreciate you. And Doge is my number one baby too, and I'm holding for the long haul as well. And people sometimes ask, do you think it's possible for Doge to hit $3? I think it's very possible, very probable, particularly over a long period of time. A $3 Doge, I think will likely happen. Not a matter of if, just a matter of when. My Doge is kind of going crazy. My real life Doge is going crazy behind me here. Just kind of bouncing up and down. Now she's getting settled. It's kind of funny. 9 times out of 10, you guys, when I'm broadcasting live, the Doge is laying right behind me. She likes to like wrap her body around my backside, and just lay there and groove out and chill out. Well, listening to my voice and broadcasting. That's just what she does. Audio Freak, good to see you in the mix. I always get kicked out of hotels for eating their wild mangoes. Felix Falcon, you can do a screenshot. We don't need so big crypto crap. Grass, just an opinion. Yeah, I mean, thanks for weighing in. You can't please them all. Sometimes I do smaller, sometimes I do bigger, and everyone has different preferences. That's why I kind of have both on the screen. But Mary in New York coming in with a $2 super chat. We love Mary in New York. Thank you for supporting the channel, Mary. And Mary decides to break her lurking status to put in a super chat there. Much appreciated. And again, Truck on the Day, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Let's see. Let's go to the next story. This one comes courtesy of Futurism.com. Another entire country just banned crypto mining, and guess which one it is? It is Kosovo. The Kosovo police has organized an action to discover and confiscate all crypto mining equipment. Interior Minister Slovakia announced yesterday on Facebook 272 of these kinds of equipment were seized and one person was arrested. All the action took place and ended without incidents. Wow. In 2017, Bitcoin mining was already using more energy than the combined total of 159 countries. That's not true. Futurism, I do reference them a lot for different stories and material, but they always lean. It's kind of the guy that kind of got that. They kind of give some Guardian vibes sometimes, if you catch my drift. In short, Kosovo's ban makes a lot of sense according to Futurism. Makes a lot of sense compared to what, though? Compared to the current systems that they have in place? This is the thing that always astounds me about the default argument of people that are proponents of banning crypto in entire countries. It's only out of environmental concern. And again, when you consider how much energy the traditional fiat systems burn up and everything surrounding it, it just doesn't make sense. That argument just doesn't hold very much water to me at all. So, I don't know. Futurism, you kind of ate it on that one. Check this one out, guys. This is important. Potato shortage leads to global shortage of French fries and potato chips. Fast food restaurants across the world are experiencing a shortage of French fries. The United States is one of the top producers of potatoes globally, but due to the lockdowns, forced U.S. farmers to destroy hundreds of tons of potatoes in 2020, and the supply is not fully recovered. On top of that, supply chain issues have hampered exports of this year's crop. These issues have led to fast food chains from Kenya to Japan scaling back on French fry orders or even running out of them. Japan is the largest overseas market for U.S. potatoes, accounting for $342 million in exports, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. That's wild. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. I just learned something. I wouldn't have guessed that Japan is our largest consumer of U.S. potatoes. I just wouldn't have guessed that. Frozen potato products such as French fries account for nearly 2/3 of those exports, more than $230 million in exports. Moreover, the United States is the sole foreign supplier of fresh chipping potatoes in Japan. Japan is also home to more than 3,000 McDonald's franchises, according to the Washington Post, and relies heavily on U.S. potato exports. The Post reported, that kind of makes me sad. I gotta say, the fact that there's 3,000 McDonald's locations across Japan makes me sad. I think Japan is honestly running one of the best countries, hands down, on the planet. I mean, I don't even think it's close. Furthermore, Japanese cuisine compared to the standard American diet is immensely more healthy overall. So I don't think Japan needs to be any more saturated with Big Macs and a sea of Big Macs than they already are. McDonald's forced to restrict French fry orders in Japan to just the small size for the foreseeable future. KFC locations in Kenya have also been affected by the shortage, not being able to provide French fries. So I don't know if anyone has encountered a French fry shortage here in the United States so far. I haven't, but I'm not supposed to eat that stuff for a long time, and for the most part, I'm really not. But I do love a good, hot, fresh batch of French fries, man. I really do. I don't really like the thick potato cut ones. I like the skinny fries that are freshly fried. I like them a little on the well done side with salt, with plenty of salt. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Hunter, what's going on? Hunter Wayne, welcome. Lone Wolf says potato chips are my main food group. Yes. Yo, Remy acting like she's running the show just like my dog. Yeah. What's up, Diamond Hands? Good to see you sneak. I didn't see you sneak in there earlier. Did I miss anyone else? I think we're caught up here. Anyway, let's go to the next story, guys. Let's go to the next story. Here's a lighthearted one coming courtesy of the Babylon Bee. For those of you who don't know, Babylon Bee is a parody news website, so please keep that in mind as we move forward. This one made me laugh out loud as they say, new Bill and Ted movie forced to cancel release in light of controversial line, be excellent to each other. Orion Pictures was forced to cancel its release of Bill and Ted Face the Music, the third film in the Gen X franchise of the late 80s and early 90s, when the film was met with instant outrage over the controversial line, be excellent to each other. Many felt that the statement came from a place of privilege and had no place in modern discourse. The time I heard the line, I was literally shaking, said Antifa activist Kelly Esmeralda. It's as if everything I've done to fight fascism in the streets of Portland means nothing to the producers of this film because I happen to throw bricks at random people because they are white. There were many who scoffed at the very thought of this statement could be applied to the previous president or the entire half of the country who supported him. People on the other side were disgusted that they would expect it to be excellent to anyone who didn't first pledge their allegiance. to that president. Producers say they are doing a quick re-edit of the film with a message that takes into account many of these facets of the American experience. An updated dialogue will now read, "Be excellent to those within your own personal inner circle who agree with you and support everything you say and never challenge you on anything." It's a little bit of an older article from the Babylon Bee, but I hadn't come across it before today, and I don't know, just made me laugh. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Here's a funny story, and this one's actually real. The last one was the Babylon Bee, so it was parody, just for the record. This is actually a real story coming courtesy of Yahoo. This is hilarious, guys. Check this out. Japanese man who rents himself out to do nothing for a living says he will reply to chit chat, but that's about it. Shoji Morimoto works as a so-called do-nothing rent-a-man. People hire the 38-year-old. People are hiring him too, by the way. People hire the 38-year-old to join them in activities like eating, shopping, and going for walks. "I don't make any special effort," he told CBS News, adding, "I reply to chit-chat, but that's about it." Shoji loves his job, but he doesn't try very hard at it. That, in fact, is exactly what makes him so good at it. The 38-year-old Japanese man offers his services, or lack thereof, as a so-called rent-a-man. "I lend myself out to do nothing, which means I don't make any special effort," he told CBS Saturday Morning. "I don't initiate conversation. I reply to chit-chat, but that's it." So people pay him to join them in activities ranging from the mundane, like having a meal, to the extreme, like listening to deep, dark confessions. Wow. Morimoto got his start in the unusual job in 2018 when he was unemployed and opened a Twitter account called Do Nothing Rent-A-Man to advertise his services. Now he has more than 200,000 followers. Some people are lonesome, he said. Some feel it's a shame to go somewhere interesting alone, and they want someone to share their impressions with. He books up to 3 gigs a day and has completed more than 3,000 so far, according to The Independent. Can you believe this? This guy is booked to the gills. He's booked to the gills being the do-nothing rent-a-man. 3 gigs a day. I mean, that's a pretty good business. He's probably in the heart of Tokyo. That'd be my guess. His past gigs include sharing coffee in silence, listening to a busker, sharing cake with someone on their birthday. That's kind of sad. That makes me feel bad for that person. Just think about that. Someone hired someone just to eat so they could have someone to share their own birthday cake with. Man, I would have rented myself for free for that. I couldn't charge for that. And once I found out the nature of that gig, that'd be a freebie. Come on, Rent-A-Man. You can't charge for that. Someone spending their birthday alone, and they rent you so they can just have some birthday cake with someone? You can't charge for that. Come on, what kind of world is this? I'm not a friend or an acquaintance, Morimoto previously told Japan's Mancini Shimbun. That's a name. Now that's a name. What is your name, sir? Mancini Shimbun is my name. I'm free of the bothersome things that accompany relationships, but can ease people's sense of loneliness. Japan has recently struggled with managing loneliness, social isolation among residents. In 2020, the country reported, So, I don't know. Good work if you can find it. I guess it'll be interesting to see if this is a growing industry. And I'm sure most of you have heard by now that Bob Saget passed away. He was found dead in an Orlando hotel room earlier today. From what I could tell, there was no signs of drug use or anything of that nature. The detectives found no signs of foul play or drug use as of now. He was only 65. 65 is pretty young, honestly, to pass. So there's no more information on it other than that. But I think this is one of these deaths that kind of jolts you a bit because so many people in American life, Bob Saget was such a familiar character, kind of growing up, right? With one of the predominant stars of course, the cheesy shows, the cheesy series, Full House, that was around for pretty good amount of time. But then Bob Saget went on to be really kind of dig his heels into comedy even much more, his stand up and everything else. And he was a very well liked guy by lots of people, and actually quite extraordinarily funny outside of Full House. And actually his stand up ended up being pretty edgy. A lot of naughty words from Bob Saget. Anyway, rest in peace, sir. Rest in peace, sir. Let me see what else we got here. Let's see what's going on in the chat. The metaverse will put the Rent-A-Man out of business. Truckin' All Day says, I think you're right. Truckin' All Day, I don't think the future looks very bright for the Rent-A-Man, particularly with the increasingly rise of the metaverse. I think that's a very, very astute point, Truckin' All Day, and hugely agreed. Gremlin, 12345 coming in. Good to see you. I bought land on Mars Colony. Wow. Congratulations. So, Gremlin buying that virtual land, that virtual property, and we've been talking about that a bit more out there. So I hope you got a good deal on it. Tom Petty hit me pretty hard too. Alistair, that I would say out of any celebrity deaths, I would say Tom Petty for sure, John Candy, and David Bowie. I think those are the ones that really hit me the most. Rent-A-Man, Mama Crypto. Yeah, Mama Crypto, weren't you listening? I was covering the full-time Rent-A-Man in Tokyo. He's got 3 gigs a day, and people just hire him for him to just hang out and grocery shop with them and just kind of do mundane tasks. And he's booked every day, all day. Kind of makes me wonder what I'm doing in my life. What am I doing in my life? Well, I'm hanging out with you fine folks. That's what we're doing. I wouldn't have it any other way. Guys, you've been watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele. It is Sunday, January 9th. Going into the late twilight. We're still doing it to it here. If you haven't hit that like button, make sure you hit it. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We've got an awesome community here. I want you to be part of it. Make sure you hit all on that notification bell. And descend with us to the moon, Mars, beyond. I'm going to Saturn. After that, folks. Let's see here. Well, I think I'm on the bottom. That's about it for all I got on news, guys. So Bitcoin right now, hovering comfortably above 42,000. Tomorrow's going to be very revealing on how the rest of the week goes. So we'll just see the trajectory of Bitcoin by the time we get about noon tomorrow. But I wouldn't be surprised if we took one last dip before taking off again. Perhaps even as low as 38,000. Wouldn't surprise me at all, folks. How much longer do we got to wait before the bulls really kick in again? Remains to be seen. But the important thing to keep in mind is they will kick in, folks. They will kick in. Rent-A-Text, man. I like that. I like Truckin' All Day's proposed business model to be Rent-A-Text, man. I give good mornings, Hayes, what you doing, and how are you? Abbreviated. That's pretty good. You should put it on Fiverr. Truckin' All Day. Throw it on Fiverr and see how it goes. Young Dolph passing this year was pretty crazy. Got shot up at the cookie shop. Are you talking about Dolph Lundgren? Oh, the rapper. Oh, okay. That would make a lot more sense that a rapper would get shot up at a cookie shop than Dolph Lundgren. When someone mentions Dolph, that's the only Dolph that I think of. The I must break you, Dolph Lundgren. I must break you. That reminds me of Rocky IV. Rocky IV, incredible soundtrack. There's no easy way out. What's your favorite Rocky? I think Rocky IV is probably my favorite. Mr. T also starred in Rocky III. You know a fun fact, and this is a fun fact. Mr. T was actually one of the drummers for the Beach Boys in the 80s. Yes, Mr. T played drums for the Beach Boys in the 80s on several gigs. Isn't that wild? Not the first person you think of when you're talking about going on a surfing safari. Not one of the first people you think of when you think of Wouldn't It Be Nice? Wouldn't it be nice if Mr. T played on the snare drum and the bass? Wouldn't it be nice if we had a drummer who couldn't be stopped with a can of mace? Yeah, Mr. Mohawk. Although it's not very unsurprising when you consider that Mr. T is responsible for the song of Treat Your Mother Right. Mr. T is a surprisingly wholesome character. Yeah, he had this song in the 80s called Treat Your Mama Right, Treat Your Mother's Right. And it was a song to encourage young people to do just that, to treat their mothers with respect and obey their mothers and treat them right. Man, a parent would be so lucky to have their child listening to the advice of Mr. T and listening to his music. Yeah. Captain Jack, thanks for today. Gotta go. Awesome. Captain Jack, thanks for checking in. Thanks for checking in, Captain. All right, guys. Well, that's about all I got for tonight, but I want to thank each and every one of you guys for hanging out. Mr. T Cereal, before we go, I do remember Mr. T Cereal is pretty much a ripoff of Captain Crunch, except with T's. Except with T's. Not to be confused with another seminal temporary 80s cereal called Smurfberry Crunch. And their commercial went something like this. Smurfberry Crunch is fun to eat. It's a brand new breakfast treat. That's all I got for you. That's all I got for you. Thanks so much for joining me on Steve and Steele Live. Thank you, my super chatters. Thank you, my members. Thank you, everyone else in between. Hope you got something out of it. I know I did. I had a blast. And I will not take 2 nights off. I'll see you sooner than that next time. And until next time, this is your man, Real Deal, Steve and Steele, signing out. Later, guys.